Hi everyone, welcome to Curing Law Review Link Rot with DOIs. I'm Valeri Craigle, Head of Technical Services at the James E. Faust Law Library at the S.J. Quinney College of Law at the University of Utah. In this short presentation, I'll be talking about minting DOIs for law reviews, but you might be asking yourself, what is a law review? What is a DOI? And why do they need each other? In a nutshell, law reviews publish lengthy, comprehensive treatments of subjects, or articles, that are generally written by law professors, judges, or legal practitioners. These are just legal periodicals. They're the primary vehicle of scholar communication in the legal academy. They also provide a pathway to tenure for law professors. In fact, a lot of law professors can't actually achieve tenure without writing at least 5 law review articles. They're also important for legal education because law students are actually the editors of law reviews. So they learn about legal writing, they learn about legal citation, and they learn how to work with other professors on their scholarship. Law reviews are also really important for research because they expand knowledge of legal topics and they help people do research on legislative history. Right now, there are three primary forms of access for law review articles. You can get law review articles in print form in law schools, or you can subscribe to law reviews in print form. You can also access them in legal databases like Westlaw, Lexis, and Hein Online. And you can also access them from a law review's website on the open web. This is an example of a law review article published in Lexis, which is a subscription-based database. This is an example of a law review article published on Digital Commons, and this is the platform that the Law Review Society publishes their articles on. And so this is freely accessible on the open web. But right now there's a looming access crisis for law reviews in decreasing and prohibited access via traditional methods like print, which is being canceled at a high rate at law libraries because no one really reads them in print anymore, so they're being canceled. This chart actually shows a precipitous drop until 2010. In 2023, this would probably be closer to 0 at this point, the readership. Cancellation of traditional legal databases is also happening because they're really expensive and some of them are duplicative. Lexis and Westlaw, for example, have a lot of duplication, and so law schools are choosing to cancel one or the other. And of course, these contain law review content. This is combined with poor digital preservation strategies via new and future access methods, such as accessing on the open web. And what you see here is a law review article published by the University of Pennsylvania Law School. But if you see at the bottom, they're relying on access via domain name, which is defined by their Digital Commons platform, which they subscribe to. If the University of Pennsylvania decided to cancel their Digital Commons subscription, this URL would probably break, and so they would either have to forward their users to a new URL or have some kind of a landing page describing why the resources is no longer available. What I propose as a solution to this problem is DOI. Digital object identifiers are persistent identifiers that use the handle system. They uniquely identify various objects standardized by the International Organization for Standardization. They're used for many different kinds of content, government information, journal articles, data sets, etc. This is what a DOI looks like. There are three basic components to a DOI. You have the resolver, which never breaks. You have a prefix and you have a suffix. Within the prefix, you have the DOI registry number, which will always be 10. The registrant number, which is assigned to the institution that is the member that has a DOI membership. This particular membership belongs to, I believe, a museum in the UK. So 5438 is their special number. No one else will have that number. Their suffix was chosen by them. That structure was chosen by the museum. And so that is the structure of a DOI. Since DOIs were established in 2000, they've been universally adopted by authors and publishers in the scientific and medical fields at a rate of about 90%. This is an example of a medical technology article published on PubMed. And as you can see, the DOI is part of the citation. And you can see that at the top. At the bottom, you can see it listed among other persistent identifiers in PubMed. This is very, very common to have a DOI as just part of the citation for the medical and scientific literature. By contrast, only about 10%, probably less than 10% of law schools and law reviews use DOI or implement any kind of a persistent identifier system. Currently, just a handful of law schools are doing it. They're listed here: University of Utah, Indiana University, and so on. If we ignore this crisis, the statistics for website reliability are really grim. The International DOI Foundation came up with statistics that are really disturbing. So 13% of web addresses registered in 1998 were still around in 2002. I can't imagine how many of those are around in 2023, probably none. And on. 33% of the 2000 ones, 51% for 2001. So the statistics are not good in terms of reliability of websites just using domain names. For our part here at the University of Utah Law School, we learned this lesson the hard way after we published our law review on open journal systems and then migrated to digital commons without forwarding any of those URLs. So all of those URLs broke, meaning that the Utah Law Review is unavailable online from 2013 and then before 2013. The only solution that I could find to fix that problem was to go back into the Internet Archive back files and re-upload the articles that had been posted on open journal systems before. So it's a lot of work. So what can law reviews and law schools do to ensure reliable access to their content now and into the future? They can become a member of either Crossref or DataCite for minting DOIs, and those are the two DOI registrars, the two main ones in the United States. To do this, they can either obtain an individual membership, probably best through Crossref, or they can piggyback on their campus library memberships. And this is really what we recommend because it's so much easier for law schools that don't have a lot of technical expertise or a lot of resources to buy an original membership. They'll have to retool their technical services and digital initiative librarians to manage DOI minting process. And we also recommend creating a digital preservation policy that includes metadata management going forward. The Legal Academy also has a role in this process, and what can they do to support DOI implementation? The Academy really needs to pressure publishers of what's called the Blue Book, which is basically the legal citation Bible. It's published by the Harvard Law Review and many editors. And what they need to do is create a rule in the Blue Book that defines the citation structure for law review articles published online. This is a picture of the Blue Book. This is an example of what a citation structure could look like. It's really just a traditional legal citation with the DOI at the end. The biggest challenge, though, is that libraries need to make long-term commitments in staffing and infrastructure to support these efforts. But our law reviews are worth it. They're really the main vehicle for scholarship in this discipline. And so it's really important that we make them accessible online in perpetuity. Here's some further reading if you're interested in DOIs for law reviews. And thanks so much for joining me.